Hello, this video is going to be on beginning finger picking exercises. And I just situated the camera so you can see mostly my right hand. I'm not really going to be doing any left hand in this video, so the whole focus can just be on the right hand. And so you'll notice that yes, I have long fingernails. That's because I studied classical guitar. You have to have long nails in order to execute the proper technique and to play with clarity that the music requires when you're playing classical guitar. So I also think that it's my personal favorite way of playing guitar. I do play with the pick when I'm playing in rock groups, but I prefer finger style. Is what it's sometimes called, finger picking, finger style, because it's very intimate. It makes me feel very connected to the instrument, and it also allows the player to play more notes, different kinds of chords, separating chords, meaning you can switch. You can be selective over what strings you're playing, while if you're playing with a pick, you really have to play strings that are right next to each other or just one at a time. While on finger picking, you have 4 picks here that you can just move around however you want. And it also kind of looks like that my pinky is being used, but that is not true. In classical guitar, you just use your thumb, pointer, middle, and ring finger. And in classical guitar, they label it with P-I-M-A. So Pima, P-I-M-A. But we don't even really have to do that much for this lesson. To find your right hand position, I usually just suggest my students to, be sitting normally in their practice position. Take your right arm, secure the guitar, so make sure it's not going to fall over. And then have your arm down by your side, and then bring it over, and wherever your guitar or hand grabs the guitar, that is probably a pretty good natural position for you to play. So don't worry about, really where your hand is at first. What is more important is that you're comfortable and you can reach the strings without making any weird wrist shapes. You can't really tell because of the angle, but you can see that my wrist is somewhat elevated here. You don't want to be really like that. That can lead to injury and pain. And you don't want to go like this. You want to actually use the knuckles right here and reach in. And now you're not going like that though. You're just bringing your fingers into your hand. You bring your fingers into your hand, but then pretend this is a string, but your string is just kind of in the way. So we're just going through the string and bringing it into our hand, as if we had something in there. If we were squeezing a tennis ball or something. And notice we're not throwing a punch, so it don't need to be flexed or anything. We're just bringing our fingers into our hand. So, okay, that's just all the motion is. I'm placing my hands on the strings, and then I'm just bringing my fingers into my hand. So with all of the stuff that we're going to be doing in this lesson, we're going to be playing an E minor chord, which is just these open strings here. So thumb is going to take the 6th string, pointer finger is going to take the 3rd string, the G, middle has got the 2nd string, and then ring finger has got the 1st string. Again, I'm not using my pinky. It just looks like I'm using my pinky because if you move your fingers, some fingers are on the same tendon as the other. So your ring finger is on the same tendon as your middle finger and the ring finger. So that's why when you make a movement, the other ones kind of do the same thing. And as you play guitar, you basically make an independence of that motion. Yeah, they're still going, but I can still move this without the pinky really getting in the way. Sometimes it does, but it's a happy accident. So, we've got thumb on 6th string, pointer on G, 3rd string, middle on 2nd string B, ring finger on 1st string E. Okay? And just get used to that, you know, just try to make some notes with it. I usually always just go up and down. And when I say up and down, I mean I'm starting at a low point, I'm going higher in pitch, and then going back down, lower in pitch. So starting low, going up, highest point, and then back down. Okay? Go ahead and try to do this with me. Couple more times. Couple notes here. I'm playing on a steel string acoustic, so not a classical guitar. This is one of my newer guitars, and I really like it. So I'm just trying to get more use out of it, and really like the sound. I also enjoy the cutaway, so I can play these higher frets with ease. But my reason for pointing that out is that a steel string has kind of more of a limited position of where you can put the right hand. Classical guitar, generally you can have your thumb in the sound hole, but you don't want your whole hand in the sound hole because it can muddy up the sound, because the sound is projecting from there. So your hand can actually block that and act as a slight muffler. And notice if you go too close to the bridge, it just sounds really bright. Go over the sound hole, it sounds nice and warm. You just want a nice neutral position, okay? Right under the sound hole, okay? That way you can still go bright if you need to, or still go warm if you want. Obviously with the nails as well, I can get specific kinds of colors. I can get really brighty tin sounds because of the combination of the nail and the flash. And that's another advantage of just having a nail. You can be more precise and get more range of dynamic color. And again, you don't want to be reaching back here, reaching for those strings. Your hand should be above the strings and just floating above the strings. It doesn't have to reach for the strings, it's just already there. And this will take a while to get the right position, get the right feel for it, but that's okay. I mean, everything just takes time. So you just have to practice, and you have to practice slow. It's just an E minor chord. E, G, B, E, back down. Chord is root 3rd 5th. We have root 3rd 5th right there. So yeah, you can, once you got that down, you can make a bunch of different variations of that progression. So you can play it like as a black chord. You can do different combinations, so you can do thumb, ring, pointer, middle. And you want to do all of these. You want to come up with as many different combinations. Then you can kind of do an inversion of that. Using those same 3 strings, and their fingers are still associated with those same 3 strings. Other combinations you can do. Play it a little slower. play two at the same time and play the others. Give it kind of a waltz feel. And you can separate the two.